Good afternoon, everyone. As Karen quite rightly said before, my name's Jonathan Levy and I'm the Director of the Transport, for want of a better term, I'm the Director of the Transport team here, and we look after all of Australia in regards to transport for veterans and war widows. We provide transport assistance in four ways mainly, but the first step to get through for transport assistance is that you need to be travelling for approved medical treatment within Australia. So by approved medical treatment, what we actually mean is that you pay for the treatment with your gold or your white card. So if you pay for your treatment with your gold and white card and attending your closest provider, in our guys, you'd be happy to know that we'll be able to reimburse you some costs or actually be able to provide you some transport up front. So we do provide transport in four separate ways. One was called our book car driver system, and I'll go through all that shortly for you. Our claim reimbursement process. We also book flights for long distance travel, and we also provide an ambulance service or reimburse costs for ambulance service. So we'll just move on to the book car, please, Carolyn, if you don't mind. Thank you. So this is what we call our DVA arranged travel, and it's a book car driver service. And what that basically means is we have contracts with taxi companies all across Australia. We've got a pretty good coverage of every town and city in Australia, regions and country towns as well. So what actually occurs with the book car driver process, if you tick the boxes that are there on the, I won't go through them all because I'll bore you all to tears, but if you go through the boxes there that's on the screen, you may well be eligible for transport to and from via our book car driver service with your gold or white card. I expect the majority of people in this room would have access to war widows with the gold card. So if you're over 80 years of age, you can travel to all medical treatment. So whether it be a GP, a physio, to a hospital or to a specialist, we'll transport. You're eligible for the book car driver service to go to and from all your medical treatment. If you're under 80 years of age, you're entitled to go to specific locations, which are spelled out there, and they're basically our hospitals and specialist treatment. For if you're under 80 and you don't meet one of the specified conditions that are stated there, you can actually use the next part that I'm going to talk about, which is our reimbursement process, but we'll come to that shortly. So if you require a book car driver service to get to and from your medical treatment, it's just a matter of contacting DVA, and I can give you the numbers later in the question time. And you can call us. We'll go through a short call with you and book the transport for you. And once you've attended your treatment, if you've been to, say, your GP and once you're ready to go home, you contact us again and we'll send another cab to come and get you. So for those who have a white card, you need to be travelling for your accepted disabilities only. For the next one, please, Caroline. So our reimbursement process. This is probably what gets used the most with us. It's a matter of you taking yourself to your medical treatment, and the eligibility is the same as for book car driver. In the fact that if you've got a gold card, you can take yourself to any of your medical treatment as long as you're attending your closest provider, and we'll reimburse the cost, whether it be via you drove yourself, you caught a cab, you caught the bus, or caught a train, public transport. You need to submit a claim for that, which is on our D800 claim form, or you can actually submit it online through your DVA My Service account. So if you submit your claim, once your claims come into us, we'll process them and we'll calculate your expenses, and we'll get the money into your account within 7 to 10 days of processing the claim. Next one, please, Caroline. Similarly, for people with Merck and Durka eligibility, we do provide the same, except the Merck and Durka veterans and war widows are not eligible for the book car driver service, but they are eligible to claim their claim reimbursement of their travel to and from all the same medical appointments as long as they're attending their closest provider. The other part of our transport that we provide is our flights. So for those of you who live in country or regional areas, and it's too long a trip to get to and from treatment. So if you need to fly to Sydney or to Brisbane or Melbourne for major treatment or for treatment, specialist treatment, we'll actually arrange for you to travel by long distance train, which is not our preferred. We prefer for people to fly because it's much simpler and much easier on the person who's doing and the patient who's doing the travelling. So we'll arrange for you to fly to and from, and as part of that, we'll also reimburse you the costs of accommodation and associated meals, and that will also go to this reimbursement of meals and accommodation also is payable to veterans who are claiming treatment, claiming driving to their medical treatment if they're travelling over 300 kilometres. We'll reimburse 300 kilometres one way. We'll reimburse their accommodation and meals as well.
Sorry, Jonathan, to interrupt the presentation.
That's okay.
I have a couple of questions of people asking.
Yes.
I thought I'd ask now so you can clarify.
Yeah, good idea. Yes.
What is MRCA and DRCA?
Okay. MERCA is the Military Rehabilitation Compensation Act. So that is for more of our more contemporary / younger veterans, and DIRCA is the old Safety Rehabilitation and Compensation Act, but we changed that to make it the Defence Rehabilitation and Compensation Act. So they're not specific. They're all processed under DVA now, and they're just a different acts of where we pay compensation and access for veterans and widows to access entitlements. Is that cool? Okay, so we've done flights. So the next slide, please, Caroline. Okay, here's an important one for us. For eligible veterans, as I said, with gold card or white card, we do provide an ambulance service. So we don't actually provide the ambulance service. We contract with the state authorities to provide the ambulance service. So if you're a veteran, gold card holder, white card holder, you're in an ambulance, and then the ambulance service does not bill you. They will bill us directly. We work with them, and we pay them on a monthly basis for all veterans of war widows who use ambulance service. So we can take you to and from as in an emergency with all the bells and whistles of the ambulance going if required, or we can also transport you under the non-emergency provisions where if you're unable to transport to and from say for hospital via a taxi, via our book car driver service, you need a bit more care and you need to go in the non-emergency ambulance, we'll also pay for that as well.